Hey guys, welcome to my electric guitar crash course. In the following videos, I'm going to be showing you how to play electric guitar for worship. So we're going to cover from the basics to some of the chord positions that I use. Also, I'm going to talk about tone, I'm going to talk about gain, I'm going to talk about effects so that you can successfully play electric guitar for your church. All right. So this is our first video, and so we're going to talk about the basics in this video. If you look in the description box below, you're going to see a link that is going to take you to a little diagram that I created. This is just an E and A string diagram. So first things first, you got to learn the bottom two strings of your guitar. You got to make sure that when you start playing your guitar, that you know what each of these frets are going all the way up to the two dots. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And then knowing the same thing for the A string. If you already know all the notes on the bottom two strings, go ahead and skip to the next chapter. The next chapter, I'm going to talk about octaves, and then from there, we're going to talk about the three sections that we're going to be approaching. So go ahead and skip ahead. If you don't know the notes yet, go ahead and stick around. Let's talk about it really quick. So I just played through the E string. You're also going to need to know the notes on the A string. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A. And as you can see, open is an A, and on the two dots is an A. So once you pass these two dots, it just repeats itself. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So once you learn this first half, that instantly applies to the second half. So go ahead and spend some time with this chart. Look through the notes, practice them, quiz yourself. Make sure that you can look at a note and then just say, oh, that's a G, that's a C. Great. So now when you're thinking between those notes, right? So we have E, F, G. There's a little fret between there. So between those two notes, that's either going to be a sharp note or a flat note. So if we start on F and we go up a half step is one fret. A whole step is two frets. So if you start on F and you go up a half step, you're now on F sharp. And F sharp, so that's when you go up from F. Now if you go to G and you go down a half step, that's now G flat. So you can see this note can be either F sharp or G flat. So that means that it's inharmonic. So F sharp is inharmonic with G flat. That means it sounds the same even though you can give it two different names. The same goes for G sharp, A flat, A sharp, B flat. I guess you don't really have a B sharp, but I guess you could in some instances. You also have a C sharp or a D flat, a D sharp or an E flat here. So make sure you kind of get the idea there and you know, boom, this is an A flat or a G sharp. Boom, this is a C, and then you take that into the next string as well. E, F, whatever, C sharp, D flat. So practice those. Awesome. Take some time, work through that, make sure you've got that down, and then come back to this video. So now you know all the frets, the fret names for the E string and the A string. Now we're going to figure out a trick using octaves to figure out all the notes for the other strings. So you already figured out the E and the A. Next thing we're going to figure out is the D and the G string. So when you're playing an octave, what is an octave? An octave is the same note, but just going up the scale. So when you play any scale, right? So say I'm playing the C scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. It lands back on a C. So that is the first octave of C. C, C. And then that's another octave, but we're going to stick with this first one. C, C. So how to figure out how to play an octave for the second or for the third string, which is, or I guess not the third string, for the D string and for the G string. So it's E, A, D, G, B, E. That's another thing. If you don't know the string names, take some time, look it up, figure it out, memorize it. I memorize it through elephants and donkeys grow big ears. Elephants and donkeys grow big ears. And then you can figure it out that way. Great. So now when you go into the E, from the E to the D string, you're going to go up 2 frets, and then you're going to go up 2 strings. So you're going to go, if this is your G, you're gonna go 1, 2, and then 1, 2. G to G. I recommend learning the way that that feels, going from your pointing finger to your pinky. Figure that out. And you can start, right, C, right, F, and figure that out all for the D string. Go up the neck, go down the neck, and try to really learn what those are. It doesn't apply anymore. Right, so this is an E and an E, and then now E flat, right? Or D sharp, and then the D string. Very good. Awesome. So then now going and learning the G string, it's the same exact thing, but starting on the A string. So this is a C, and then to find the high octave of C, you go up 2 frets, up 2 strings. Or sorry. C, C, and then that applies everywhere as well. Very good. Awesome. So then now, why don't you go and take some time, work through all the notes, get comfortable, get familiar with the D and the G string notes, and that's going to help you a ton. Take some time on that and then come back to this video and we'll continue on with the last 2 strings. You spent some time learning the E and the A. You spent some time learning the D and the G. I really recommend you get comfortable with this. You might not have it all down right now, but as you take time, continue to learn it, continue to expose yourself to it, and it's going to help you a ton in the future. All right, so now let's figure out how to figure out the high B and the high E strings. So when you're working with these bottom 4 strings, the octave, like I said, was up 2 frets, up 2 strings. But when you're going from when you're figuring out the B and the E string, now it's no longer 2 frets. So say we're starting on the D string and we're starting on this G, right? So we did the octave G, G. Now if I was to figure out the octave from here onto the B string, it's no longer 2 frets. Now it's 3 frets up. So I go this G, 1, 2, 3, up 2 strings. Again, I recommend learning the way that this feels in your hand so that you can quickly figure out that octave. And then the same thing applies when you're going from the G string to the high E string, right? So this note right here is a C. How did I figure that out? Here's your C to the octave, and then now the C. You go up 3 frets, up 2 strings. And you'll notice the E and this E are the same. So everything that you learn here, G, is the same as this G. The C is this C. It's just 2 octaves above now. Great. So why don't you take some time, study that, practice that. What I recommend is you just look at a fret, or why don't you close your eyes and play a random fret, and then once you're looking at it, try to figure out what note that is. So I put my finger here. This is the 3rd string, this is the G string, and then this is the 14th fret. I know this is an A, so that's also an A. So I just landed on an A. So take some time, practice that. Just try to quiz yourself and try to get familiar with that. That's going to be essential for this next part of this video. All right, so you just spent some time figuring out the notes for the strings. That is huge. That is super huge. If you are not yet familiar with that, please take some time, learn that, practice that. If you don't have that down, it's really going to hold you back for the next couple of videos. And I want you to know it's worth it to learn that. It's so worth it. So helpful. You start getting quicker and quicker the more that you practice it. So invest some time if you don't know it yet. Awesome. So now let's get into the sections that I'm going to teach in this video. I'm going to do a quick talk through of what I'm going to teach. In the description box below, you're going to see 3 links for Section 1, Section 2, and Section 3. So these are 3 sections of guitar notes that I use whenever I play anything. This is the foundation of what I use. What these section charts are going to help you do is it's going to give you freedom. It's going to give you just an idea of where you can play. And it's going to really help with your ability just to have comfortability all over the guitar. So I'm going to give a quick explanation of what they are. So section 1, basically the idea is you have a scale. So this is the bottom string and this is the high string. So bottom string, I mean the low E. So basically it'll look like this on your guitar. But when you're looking at it, you can look down at it as if you're looking down at your guitar. So you got 1, 2, 3. So this note is going to be your second string, 3rd fret. And then that's where we're going to start. And we're also going to be playing all these in the key of C for your reference. So go ahead and check out the next couple of videos. I'm going to walk through each of these sections in detail. I'm going to talk about what tones you can use to play songs a certain way. And we're going to work through 2 songs to be able to make these come to life for us. All right, so I'll go ahead and see you in the next couple of videos. But again, if you haven't mastered this material yet, go ahead and go through it. And then we're going to make sure that we can have a good understanding of the next couple of sections as we cover them. Awesome. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video.